is porn is not declining. It's making more money now than ever before.
I didn't say it was declining. I said, okay, Steve, I didn't say it was declining.
I'm sorry, I thought you did.
No, what I stated was that it's becoming more and more banned, and that trend is not going to reverse.
More and more banned. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and that trend is not going to reverse. It's going to, like Stilgar said, the last state standing will be California.
Which has probably contributed to it making more money now than ever, that it's being banned more than.
Yeah, that's fine. Eventually, like I said, technology, I do believe, Steve, that technology will make it more and more easier to get rid of.
Goodbye, George.
No, wait, because they could also counter against your point too, because people could also create AI that could go against the AI.
No, not at the operating system. Not at the operating system level. So you could possibly at the application layer, but I think AI security that's native to an operating system will do an effective job at banning things that are not supposed to live within the environment. So.
But could it handle a glitch?
How much are these robots that come to your house?
So I don't know about. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, Steve. That it's almost like It's almost like It's almost like the movie. What's the one movie with Brad Pitt where he brought all those like baseball players together that shouldn't have been together when they won a World Series?
That's where he was the coach of the Athletics.
He brought all these misfits together that nobody would have thought should come together, but they.
I'm just concerned with how much it costs.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So I've seen technologies from different where I'm like, okay, someone's going to put all this together. Moneyball, that's what it is.
Moneyball, yeah, yes, Moneyball. Yeah.
So, Steve, in the same way, I'm saying I've seen technology, whether it's the fleshlight stuff, speaking robots, AI, voice, natural voice over here. So I'm seeing different technologies that in my head, I'm like, okay, someone's going to put all this together and make, the perfect woman, right? Let's just call it.
You don't know how much it costs to deliver that to the house. You don't know.
Say it again.
I said you don't know how much that robot costs to be delivered to your house. You don't know.
I don't. She might walk to your house.
King, I hate to destroy your evangelical future utopia with my libertarian future utopia. Okay. But mine has way more blowjobs, and
why do you think blowjobs are going away? What makes you think?
No, not way more blowjobs. You're describing the libertarian utopia. You're describing, Waymo, like the self-driving car service. You just described. I can get on instead of ordering a Waymo, I can order a blowjob, and it's all automatic, and there's no humans involved, just like a Waymo.
Yeah. Look,
I don't know, dude. I'm voting libertarian utopia.
Yeah, and by the way, OnlyFans, and this is not all porn.
OnlyFans is going away, bro.
Fine, it may be going away, but last year, the year before, it made over $6.5 billion.
I know.
And that's just OnlyFans. Just OnlyFans.
Yeah, but Steve, Steve, I think you're doing a prisoner of the moment thing. Remember, there was no OnlyFans 7 years ago, and now there is. But in 10 years, there could be something else that completely makes OnlyFans irrelevant.
The only thing I'm doing is stating the facts, which you agreed with, and that is porn makes more money now than it ever has been.
Yeah, but does Hollywood, Steve, there's a reason why they call me Sollywood. I went to film school, all of that. I saw Hollywood. I was in film school. That was Hollywood's heyday. That was their final, making $15 billion in the summer. Now we're at $4 billion. Why do I say that? Because just because an industry is making a shit ton of money in the moment doesn't mean they'll be making a shit ton of money in 10 years. The reality is that media, how we consume it, sexuality, how we consume it, all of those things are going to drastically change in the next 20 years. They will, And I think OnlyFans is going to get banned everywhere. Like you have girls literally. What's the
well? You said
what's the
you said porn's going to be banned. So
yes, state by then. I think don't be
I hear you.
shocked if you get something at the federal level.
No, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm just going to simply say that's never going to happen.
All right, look, Steve. I know you're not a believer. All of that's fine.
That's irrelevant to why I think it's never.
I think it is relevant because I don't think you see that America's going in a different direction. And like
what I see.
Hold on, let me just say this.
Sure.
Let me just say this. You know I fuck with you, Steve. But I do think that America is moving towards some version of Christian nationalism. It is. And so I don't think we can ignore that. I know you want to, but I don't think you can. And so part of that is going to be, yes, having more of a firm ground in moral choices, because I would rather be ruled by Jesus' commandments than pedophiles. And right now we're being ruled by pedophiles.
The only thing that you just said is wrong is that we're going there. We're already there.
Yeah, we're being ruled by pedophiles.
America is already ruled by Christians and Christians.
No, it is not. We are being run by pedophiles. We are not being run by Jesus freaks. So, so with that reality...
I mean, wait. What's the difference?
Well, he's interrupted me 3 times, but I'll wait and then I'll explain it.
You said, what's the difference?
Hold up, y'all want me to crash? King, they want me to crash out again. This is crazy.
And this is why you need moral clarity, Red. No, what he just did is exactly why people are done with the education system, with all this moral relativism, because now people don't know the difference between someone who worships Jesus and someone who's a pedophile.
That's a fact.
Like, this is crazy.
Should I continue or no? Should I continue or no?
Go ahead, Steve. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's a fact that 70% of the America's population is Christian. That's a statistical fact.
Well, 60%.
It's all. What'd you say?
63%.
Fine.
It used to be 70. It used to be 70 years ago, like maybe 3 decades ago. But it's 60. And then it came 60, 61, and now it's going back up. So we're at around 62, 63%.
Okay, well, I said 70. I'll compromise with you.
You gave us a lot.
Well, fine. I'll agree with you. 63%. 63% of the population is Christian. And more Christians are becoming Christian nationalists. So there's no question about it.
Correct.
However, it's also a fact that more Christians are becoming nuns than ever before. And I don't mean N-U-N-S, and I know you know what I'm about to say about N-O-N-E. More Christians are becoming nuns. Then what does that mean? That means they're staying in belief in God. They're continuing to be spiritual, but they're leaving specific faiths.
Yes, they're non-denominational.
That's right, and it's more now than ever before. And if you take the largest growing population of people that believe in God, it is the nuns, because they're gaining population from all religions.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad we agree again. So
yeah, we do. Because I'm one of those.
Regard my belief in God or my faith, you and I know the truth.
Yeah, but the difference, Steve, I would argue, is that I'm one of those individuals. Although I'm a Reformed evangelical, that's essentially a non-denominational Christian in a sense. So I'm one of the people you'd be referring to. But in addition, though, Steve, the very interesting thing about that demographic is that you essentially have the grounds, right, for a spiritual revival, where at any time that non-denominational, that huge non-group can be sparked, like we see here with Charlie Kirk's assassination, sparked back to a solid foundation of Christ following. which is exactly what I think is going to happen, in the next 10 years. And that's why I'm arguing that, Steve. I think the sad reality is that it took this man being assassinated. It took us having to experiment the last 30 years with secularist and liberal, ideals, and how it's essentially led to the destruction of the West. It took us going through that for people to realize, oh shit, maybe the Jesus freaks were right, that type of thing. And so people can try to ignore it all they want, but liberalism and secularism, it failed. It's failed the West. You now have people who don't give a fuck about the West literally being moved in by the droves because there's no moral clarity about who we are as a people. And so I don't think you can ignore those things.
It does sound a little bit like you're advocating for like a Christian evangelical version of like ISIS.
No, why would that be the case?
Maybe I'm being hyperbolic there, but I don't know. I just like here's the thing. Here's the thing. If your religion is the supreme one, and it is the one out of all of them that is the correct one, and you are the one that should rise to power to the point where it can morals and the moral compass and the drive of the humans on this planet. I don't see why you'd want government to be the arm of that power.
So I think this is where. So I would still argue, Stilgar, you're doing the all or nothing thing, because the argument isn't that government should have no power, which is what I think libertarians often do. We don't argue that.
No, I don't think libertarians necessarily do that.
Well, but okay, so hear me out on this, because our argument is that the government